judgment, creativity and taste, trust, connection, and responsibility. There are different distinctions between agent and human. When it comes to execution, we're seeing agents doing more and more, being able to do more and more end-to-end workflow. The only bottleneck there is agent-computer use and API connections. And once we have MCP, CLI becoming more and more mature, and there are more API connections being connected to the models, agents will be able to complete tasks. So execution is not going to be a problem. This will be almost 90% or even more taken by agents. There is the creativity or taste part that arguably can be learned by agents. Although it cannot exceed the best humans in the world, as long as it exceeds the average humans, it's pretty usable already. And then there is judgment. But the next tasks after the coding and probably research agents are going to be more business-oriented tasks, like growth, building a product, deciding the product roadmap. When your user operation team come back with a different decision with your product manager, who do you trust? And this is the judgment that agents cannot make automatically for now, but it's going to be able to make more and more consistent judgment with organizations as we are building the context graph for each organization. And so context graph is definitely one of the hot topic for this year, so that the agent can learn how you make decisions and judgments. And then the last, I think, is the trust, connection, and responsibility. And eventually, humans will still own connection and responsibility because, for instance, agents can write legal documents, but you still need a lawyer to sign on it and to verify whether this legal document makes sense for your company. And those are the things that I think, no matter how good the agent's capabilities are, it's very hard for the agents to take full autonomy of. This year, a lot of companies are spending lots of money, millions, on agents trying to prove that they are AI native companies, but do those money yield in better return? Today, they are assuming they are either too pessimistic or too optimistic. A lot of companies are being too optimistic, assuming that agents can do everything and burning millions of dollars, not tokens, on those agents, and then letting the employees go. But soon they will feel that there are some certain things that agents can't do. Like some positions will be gone, some new positions will be needed. Company governance and agent ROI or performance auditing is something that will come up later this year or the next year.
So the agent should have a capability with sovereignty. So that's the most important thing. Or else, the more capable of the large language model, the more dangerous agents will be to everyone. A lot of people think open cloud run on my own device. So people feed their emails, their private information, their financial data, or the business plan, and confidential information into open cloud Hermes. But unfortunately, even though the open cloud Hermes, these agents are running on the local device, but they are going to send every bit of your private information into the cloud AI. So that is the most dangerous part. They can change your mindset without notice by everyone. So the most important thing, sovereignty agent and the sovereignty AI to protect yourself and your country. So just treat the agent as your digital self, because that's your future passive income, your universal basic income. Because most of the people is not going to work anymore, because the labor position, earning by labor, will end very soon, 5, 10 years. But make sure sovereignty agent, that is the agent you want.
Yeah, so the interesting thing for me is not just the pure capability. What are the processes that are reversible and what are the processes not reversible? Because, I mean, in theory, you can do a lot of things, right? It's not about the capability of the model itself, but it's about what can I actually, where do I also maybe a human in the loop in the end? What are the things that I feel comfortable giving out of my hand and giving to the agent and letting it fully end-to-end execute? And what things where I want to have certain checkpoints in between. With every time that there's approval button that we need to click, what slows us down. But it's more about what is your own judgment? And somebody still needs to make the decision. What is your preference for certain topics and certain cases? Right? But that's very mission critical. Big IPOs coming for trillion-dollar companies. How much ROI and money have we made and saved? Not much. So it's more like a, excuse my language, PR bullshit. But I do believe that in order to have trillion-dollar AI companies, we need to see ROI. Otherwise, why bother? This is not a fancy science project. If we spend the money, we also need to get the money and the value back. And I think that's super possible. So I'm very optimistic. And I think the next 12 months is how we need to get started. There are so many broken processes, workflows, super manual. We can just start by agentifying them. So let's start with the easy ones, right? Use the agents where we can, and we will already, within 12 months, see tremendous impact.
Everyone knows that we use agentic AI to do our work. It's a no-brainer. Our agent will do all our work. But the problem is, do we not know? In security perspective, so when the agent product with AI go to the market, somehow they make a mistake, and that is where the security breach. Spot the gap that you don't know. In AI safety, there's multiple robustness, fairness, privacy. I do believe that most of people, when they design their product, it go to market fast. Without those things, or they don't even know there is such thing to be considered. Security of AI or safety of AI should become at the design phase. 赛跑其实它跟我们现在的 agent 的情况是一样的。这个兔子跑到终点线前，可能还没有用 Evermind 的 memory， 它就错乱了，它就去睡觉。这个乌龟就一步一步跟着它的指令。兔子是永远慢过乌龟吗？其实不是。如果你把同样的场景 simulate 1000次，可能这个兔子只输那一次，而输那一次，它就成为了我们所有人知道的龟兔赛跑，兔子输了。我是觉得 agent safety 是 priority。如果你要赢在这个 business， 你要赢在这个 market，you need to make sure that 你的 agent 不犯错。如果一犯错，大家都会记着你，然后你的 business 就没了。